A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Frama Panyi, and these are the stories we're following at this hour. Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU and the federal government, represented by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, will continue negotiations next week to end ongoing industrial action by ASU. Ekene Ndulwe reports that a meeting between the two bodies last night ended without resolving all the contending issues. The Mandate Secretary Social Development Secretariat, Hadiza Kabir, has assured core members of the FCT unflinching support to better the life and well-being of core members. She stated this in her office when NYSC staff and core members pay her a visit on the position of Trust Fund Bill in National Assembly on Thursday. Rosemary Bilal reports.
Recently, management of the National Youth Service Corps, under the leadership of Major General Shaib Ibrahim, who has shown uncommon passion in the discharge of the function of his office, advocated the establishment of the National Youth Service Corps Trust Fund. The Trust Fund, when established, is expected to, among others, address the infrastructural deficit besetting the scheme, as well as provide startup capitals for interested corps members to drive their businesses initiative under the scheme Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program. In addition to expanding the quality and scope of the training, prompted the visits of NYSC staff and core members to Social Development Secretariat.
That this bill has passed the second reading in the House, and we're about to have the public hearing on Thursday, the 24th of February 2022 at the National Assembly. It will be very nice if we can have the major stakeholder, a person of your standing, to be there on Thursday to lend your voice, to support the memoranda that the NYSC will present concerning the passage of this NYSC Trust Fund Bill.
You are a major stakeholder in the passing of this bill into law at the forthcoming National Assembly hearing for the National Youth Service Corps Trust Fund. We know that if you can support this bill to be passed into law, there is nothing, I believe, that can stop it from happening. That important aspect that this bill has to cover is that of community development projects. It is a pivotal part of the scheme to see that every community where the NYC is present benefits one way or the other.
The Mandate Secretary Social Development Secretariat, Hadiza Mohammed Kabiru, who was delighted to receive the core members, assures of 100% support.
I want to tell you today that I am 100% with you. And I am giving you my support and lending my voice. And at the same time, I would like to tell the public, both the public and the National Assembly, to continue to sponsor this bill to be passed into law.
It is hoped that when the bill comes on board, it will help the NYSC to achieve its aims and purpose. Rosemary Bilal, NTA News.
Ahead of a transition of government into the next dispensation in Amak, Chairman of the Council, Abdullahi Candido Adamu, has called for the harmonization of ideas for the growth and development of Amak. This was part of a high-level engagement organized for all the candidates who contested in the just concluded chairmanship position in Amak, with the chairman-elect in attendance. Abdullahi Ajia reports.
In a forward-thinking blend of ideas that sets the pace and exemplify politics of inclusiveness, Amak chairman-elect, as well as other candidates who contested along with him in the February 2022 polls, are being brought together by Amak chairman Abdullahi Adamu Candido with an advice to chart a way forward, putting behind politics and elections and bringing forth good governance and leadership.
The job has to continue. All is about service to the people. That we are going to stop somewhere, he must continue, because he too will get to somewhere and stop, and the successive government will come. So what we are saying, that what are you having to add to where we are going to stop? The essence is that whoever comes should be able to add to where we are going to stop. All we want is that the people of Amak should be seeing changes and development growing all the time. That is essentially what I want.
This development, concerned parties described as healthy for democratic growth and development for a council with so much peculiarities of diversities, with the chairman-elect reassuring of an open-door policy and bringing more hope to the grassroots people.
That is a wonderful step from the executive chairman of our Abuja Municipal Area Council. And here we are to share different ideas. I have told them, whatever vision you have, idea you have, bring it so that we can all move Amak forward. This is the essence of this gathering today, so that we can come together and make sure that we get it right.
With the work of a smooth transition lying on the shoulders of the Transition Committee, at the end of the program, a greater partnership with visionary commitment was reached for all hands to be on the plow to achieve. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
The FCT Police Command has arrested and paraded 2 suspected interstate minor kidnappers and child traffickers who lure children with drinks and snacks to sell them for 850,000 naira in Abuja. The command's public relations officer, DSP Josephine Ade, paraded the suspects alongside 8 others before media men for various crimes at the command. Onotu Yakubu has the report.
This minor, whose name and family are yet to be ascertained, and 3 others successfully reunited with their loved ones, are the few the police recovered from the suspects during their rescue operation. These 2, Ifoma Uzo, 60-year-old, and Usman Isiaka, 29, are the suspected members of the interstate syndicate who kidnapped the children from other parts of the country to be sold in the FCT in a new trend the command say is rampant.
Because of a child that I collected from the command.
What do you do with the child?
I give it to the people that ask me to help them.
When I'm coming on the way, maybe sometime if they are crying, I'll stop on bike and buy them bobo so that I will bring it to Madam Uzo Ifoma.
How much are you paid per child?
It's 150,000 if I bring it for her.
She have clients that are already waiting. In fact, from investigation, she is owing some clients, some children now, as it is. So the pressure on her, she's pressurizing this one, and this one now he's not picking them. He lures them with bobo.
55-year-old Lovett Onigbo and her son, Ifeanyi Stanley Onigbo, 38, were arrested by tactical and intelligence asset of the command for posing as Dangote cement distributors on the popular e-commerce application to defraud unsuspecting victims.
I don't know how to say anything that I don't know. I don't know anything. God will bear me witness. I don't know anything about the cement something.
Yeah, it's only once they drop the money in his account.
Does she know?
No, it's not know. You don't know anything. Because I'm the person that took him to the bank to open an account. They're just giving me my own distance, just a little money.
How much?
Sometimes they give me 200 or 300.
Okay.
Just 3 times that I do the business.
A 7-man syndicate were also paraded for defrauding unsuspecting victims of assorted ATM cards at various ATM points and banks in the FCT, with 2 among the suspects alleged to have relocated from Port Harcourt to FCT to perpetrate the crime before they were arrested.
I would like distract the person when he wants to insert his card. I will touch the person, then my boss, which is Bright, he's not here. He will go out with the card.
I want to register once again the unflinching commitment of the command towards the discharge of its constitutional responsibility with respect of fundamental human rights and in accordance to standard best practice.
Efforts are on to arrest the fleeing suspects in the various crimes. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
A new trend of crime and criminality has evolved in some parts of the Federal Capital Territory. It is called ATM card swapping. Security operative advised residents in transaction distress at the ATM terminals to always seek the assistance of bank representative against total strangers who may offer to help to avoid falling prey to antics of the criminals. Onotu Yakubu tells us more.
Caught right in the act. What you see on the screen is a case in instance showing one of the operational modus of ATM card swappers. A new trend of fraudulent act perpetrated by fraudsters in parts of Utako Jabi axis. Intelligence has it that these suspected daylight robbers operate in syndicates, with a host of them allegedly trooping into the territory from other parts of the country. Just recently, a gang of 7 was arrested by tactical and intelligence assets of the FCT Police Command at the disposal of the Utako Division.
My friend took me to ATM on 5th of December to UBA ATM point at Otako. He told me a role to play. When he collected the ATM, that I should touch the person. That's the only thing he told me.
Once you touch the person, what happens?
He went out with the...
Sorry, I can't hear you.
He went out with the card.
Once you touch the person, the card disappears.
No, he will go out with the card.
Okay, then from then what happens?
He will go and withdraw money from the person's account.
Okay, so how much do you make per operation?
No, I just followed him on 5th of December.
Okay, so this is your first time?
Yes.
Can you explain this again? When you touch the person, how?
What happens?
I will distract the person when he wants to insert his card. I will touch the person. Then my boss, which is Bright, he's not here. He will go out with the card.
So how does the card get into your position?
The person will insert the card into the ATM. So you will touch the person to distract him or not?
Yes, I will just distract the person. Then the other guy now will go with the card. Yes, sir.
Other crimes such as pocket picking, phone snatching, and other forms of fraudulent activities are also of concern to residents.
The investigation is at top gear to ensure that affiliated criminals network are crushed. I want to register once again the unflinching commitment of the command towards the discharge of its constitutional responsibility with respect of fundamental human rights and in accordance to standard best practice. The command therefore employs residents to report all suspicious movements through our emergency or distress phone numbers out there in the domain.
The police says it is leveraging on information technology and multi-stakeholders collaboration to address the challenges. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
The divisional police officer in charge of Utako Division, Chief Superintendent of Police Victor Ogbede Godfrey, says the police has deployed tactical and manpower strategies to deal with the new trend of economic crimes in parts of the Federal Capital Territory. CSP Victor made this known while responding to questions on the security check program Call the Police on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5. Again, Onotu Yakubu brings us details.
ATM swapping is the rampant new trend of crime around Utako Bega Jabi axis of the nation's capital. The suspected criminals work in gang of overwhelming numbers, and their decoy is to appear at bank ATM galleries, create distraction for bank customers in transaction, while other members of the syndicates make away with the victims' debit cards.
Yeah, because of
however,
of movement,
CSP Victor says the crime has come to the notice of the police following complaints from victims, with a swift response that has led to the arrest of some suspects to contain the situation.
It's an organized crime. It springs from the person collecting the card, the person withdrawing the money. So there is a syndicate, even as they are coming from outside, because we have freedom of movement, Chapter 4 of 1999 Constitution is amended. You cannot stop anybody from moving. But what matters is, what is the division police officer doing to crack the crime? Just like what we have done, and for the past 1 week, we can't receive anyone again because we are up to the game. It is not rocket science. We only need to think outside the box.
As further deterrence, DPO Victor Obede said The police is working with various banks to always avail their customers in distress with staff to attend their challenges and prevent escalation of the crime.
That's why we need the financial institution, the banks, to educate their customers. Because the moment you try to seek an assistance, that's where the fraud comes in.
So who should assist them for those who are...
The banks need to go ahead, educate their customers. You cannot come to the banking ATM point and you need an assistant.
Yes.
Because right now, it may interest you to know that they don't need your PIN to withdraw your money.
The senior police officer further advised residents to take extra measure to protect their data by ensuring that SIM cards are locked with passwords to deter phone snatchers access to their bank information.
Time for a short break, after which more reports will come your way.
NTA Channel 5 Abuja. We are everywhere in the Federal Capital Territory and beyond. From Amak, Abaji, Kogwalada, Kuje, Buari, and Kwali area councils. Stay with us, the Unity Station.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, moving on, some marketers are sustaining efforts of the FCTA to see that NCDC COVID-19 safety guidelines are not relaxed in public places, especially as the battle of the global pandemic is yet to be over. Deborah Gazajimaika, who was at the Wuse market, reports that Abuja market management is still appealing to the residents of the Federal Capital Territory to cooperate with the task force at the market gates, enforcing the use of face masks.
Recall that Wuse Market in 2020 was shut down for violating the NCDC COVID-19 protocols and was later reopened. Since then, Abuja Market's managers took it upon themselves to ensure that history does not repeat itself by ensuring that COVID-19 safety measures are adhered to.
What we are trying to do is to apply the rules as set by the FCT administration and the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We don't want to go out of the laws and begin to harm people, I mean to cause chaos and break down law and order, but we want to restrict ourselves within the ambits of the law to ensure that we isolate individuals who outrightly wants to disobey the law, get them punished, and then when other people see them punished, then they will adjust and obey the laws. Other people will obey.
I think it's better we continue enforcing the use of face masks. It's for our own goodness. It's for our own health, because if you don't enforce it, you don't know who that you infected it with. Let them know the real importance of washing hands, using sanitizer, and make sure that the face mask is mainly used for everybody.
Even because of the dust, you can use your face mask. Even not because of the corona alone, because of the dust.
The issue of this face mask is one of the important things which we need to look at. Because, in our country now, this talk called coronavirus, I think is everywhere, and it's curious way. So some people that are just taking it as is a play, is a joke.
Raphael Okori, however, appeals to residents of the Federal Capital Territory to give them maximum cooperation by ensuring that they take personal responsibility since the global pandemic is still ravaging the world.
Face mask, you can enter the market. At the point of purchase, if you don't wear a face mask and the person who owns the shop doesn't wear a face mask, if you identify you'll be penalized for it or arrested.
Residents are advised to continue adhering to the COVID-19 protocols as the virus is still here. Deborah Gazajimaika, NTA News.
And now figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at 22nd February 2022 indicates 8 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT. The number of confirmed cases stands at 28,324, while active cases now 179, and number of discharged cases stands at 27,897, and 248 deaths have been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. Charity is set to begin from home, so does character and attitude. In view of this, residents are expected to make proper use of public facilities as their own, especially restrooms around the city. Aisha Abdullahi has details.
When nature calls, we cannot always be at home, but in public places, either at work, in the market, or walking on the streets. This is why the government and the Abuja Environmental Protection Board (AEPB) have made and are still making provisions to provide enough clean and affordable public restrooms in the city.
People don't want to use it. You go to market, they have, but you see people urinating in the drainage beside their vehicles. Is it that they don't know that we have toilets in the market? They know that we have, but to avoid doubt and every other thing, FCT still want to provide more toilets, public toilets, so that it will be visible for those that are saying that they are not safe.
Although many residents say they do not make use of public restrooms because of its perceived dirty nature and infections that could be contracted. Others say nature's call cannot be resisted as they know some public restrooms which are maintained well.
Sometimes when you went to the public toilet, you find out that it's not clean, it's not well clean. They're just been there to collect money. They don't care about people who are coming there. You understand? To make sure that everything has to be okay.
There should be more public toilets everywhere and to be accessible. And the cost should not be much. They should reduce the cost and they should make it clean. It should be attractive to others to use.
Better use and to help the government keep Abuja clean, people should ensure to use public facilities like the private ones are used at home. Aisha Abdullahi, NTA News.
Now, are you familiar with pangolin mammals? They are unique in nature, though not common in the society. Angela Okpara takes a look at the importance of the animal.
Pangolins are the only mammals wholly covered with scale. Before now, pangolins are not widely known. No wonder it receives little attention. Stakeholders have engaged on awareness campaign to enlighten the people on the importance of pangolin to human and its environment.
These animals are beneficial to human beings. They usually eat insects that are carriers of all sorts of microorganisms that cause diseases to both plants, affecting harvest, as well as to animals.
It's an animal that everybody will want to play with. You see it around. We never thought of killing it. When you see a pangolin, maybe you are walking along the path in the bush. You see it, you play with it, and you leave it. So it's such a wonderful and friendly animal.
Pangolin is the most trafficked animal. John Timothy, who has knowledge of the animal and experience, says it can eat up to 70 million insects in a year.
The third Saturday of every year have been set aside for pangolin. Pangolin is a mammal that is covered by scales. And the scales, very, very important. This animal too is very, very important to human being as a whole. This pangolin that you are seeing can eat up to 70 million insects in a year. So which shows that it is very, very important to man. If the pangolin is not there, of course, the crops will not be able to grow because they'll be infested by pests, termites, and the rest like that. So what this animal does is it has a very sticky tongue. So it goes there and picks these insects that are very poisonous, to the crops and even to human beings. It swallows them.
Pangolin profile has no doubt grown in the last 5 years. Today, pangolin lovers all over the world are launching campaign of awareness on this special and unique creature. Angela Okpara, NTA News.
And on sports, Chelsea sinks low in their first leg game of the Champions League last 16 as Jose Mourinho backs 2 matches suspension over misconduct. Let's join Abdulrazak Ahmed on Sports Brief.
Chelsea thrived without Romelu Lukaku to beat Lille FC 2-0 in the Champions League last 16, while Dusan Vlahovic scored after 31 seconds in the Juventus 1-1 draw against Villarreal. And La Liga champions Atletico Madrid will welcome Manchester United of England tonight. Meanwhile, Jose Mourinho was suspended for 2 matches on Tuesday after being sent off for an angry stoppage time outburst at referee in Roma Serie A draw with Verona. Mourinho shouted at referee Luca Pareto and mimed a phone